So I've been doing my top 40 quarterback rankings list for quite some time now. It's definitely taken me a little bit to get this thing finally finished. And the next two on my list in alphabetical order are Andrew Luck and Ben Roethlisberger. And so I figured, well, I could just make a video for each of them like I have been doing, or instead I could try to mix things up and do something a little bit different. So I kind of figured, hey, let's have some fun with it, and let's decide who is better, Ben Roethlisberger or Andrew Luck, right here in this video. Okay, so who's better, Luck or Ben Roethlisberger? Ben Roethlisberger's won 2 Super Bowls, meanwhile Andrew Luck was gone for seemingly a decade, but now he's come back and had a great 2018 season. I mean, first let's look at the numbers. If you look at points gained per snap, which is my favorite stat to use, Ben Roethlisberger is sitting right at 10, meanwhile Andrew Luck is actually at number 31, which seems terrible, right? Well, not exactly. Even though it is my favorite stat to use, it's a stat I also invented, so that might be why. Even though it is a good stat in my opinion, there are of course going to be some flaws in it. And one of the big flaws is with someone like Andrew Luck or someone like Tom Brady, who both got much lower scores than that, simply just because their goal isn't to try to get as many yards per pass attempt. Luck basically just tries to move methodically down the field. You know, don't try to pick up 40 yards on this play, try to pick up 4, so that way it'll be a 2nd down and 6. Then we'll pick up another 4, make it a 3rd down and 2, and we trust we can convert on 3rd down and 2. Not to say that he's incapable of 40-yard passes, but that's definitely the mindset that Luck has. And so if you look at their bulk stats, well, one player doesn't really rise above the other. I mean, Andrew Luck has 15 interceptions, Ben Roethlisberger had 16. Luck had more touchdowns, he had 39 to Ben Roethlisberger's 34, however Roethlisberger had plenty more yards, as he had 5,129. Meanwhile, Luck had 4,593. But even in terms of completion percentage, Roethlisberger had 67.0 and Luck had 67.3. So the stats are very similar. And so, like most things, we can't just look at the numbers. The numbers only tell part of the story. I've always said stats can be a great tool in evaluating a player. However, you can't truly evaluate a player unless you watch the tape. And so let's watch the tape, and we'll start things off with Andrew Luck. This game will be from the wildcard game against the Houston Texans, and going into that game, I actually made a preview video for that game, and I said one way that the Texans could really slow the Colts offense down is running a lot of man coverage. Of course, they have Ebron and T.Y. Hilton, but there is kind of a drop-off after that, and so I thought man coverage would be really beneficial for them. And it seemed pretty clear, at least at the beginning of the game, that Houston had the same idea. There was a lot of man coverage going on. But one thing I sort of didn't really take into account as much as I probably should have is the fact that Luck can tear apart man coverage. If he knows man coverage is coming, he can create some good routes to beat man coverage, and he can make some great throws to, even against man coverage, make certain things work. Like what's happening right here is that receiver is just going to run a curl route, so you know, nothing too fancy, but it is a great way to beat man coverage. However, if you will notice, that receiver isn't going to get too open. There's a bit of separation, but not a lot. However, Luck trusts his abilities, and for a good reason. He has great abilities, and he can make a perfect throw for that to be a completion and a 1st down. Also, what should be mentioned was that was the 3rd play from scrimmage, and it was a 3rd down and 12. So the swing between going 3 and out to start a playoff game or being able to convert is definitely huge, but Luck was able to come through in a big way. So much so, in fact, that they were able to then drive down all the way inside to the 6-yard line, and then this play happened. It's once again going to be man coverage on the outside right there, and the Colts are going to be running those routes right there. And that's going to be Ebron's route. So, you know, that's a decent way to beat man coverage. You can quickly get it over there, and then it basically becomes a foot race between Ebron and his assigned man. But now this is where Luck comes in. This isn't going to be the most difficult throw in the world. In fact, this should definitely be a completion. However, that's not really the concern here. You want to be able to hit your receiver in stride, so that way they can turn their shoulders and get into the end zone for a touchdown. If you throw it a little bit behind or a little bit ahead of, this can actually be a very bad thing, or even a little bit low, honestly. It has to be a perfect throw, otherwise it probably won't be a touchdown. However, Luck does in fact make a perfect throw. Ebron's able to turn his shoulders and get into the end zone for a go-ahead touchdown early on in that game. So that's what Luck can do. You play man coverage against him, he'll figure out a way to game plan. Obviously, Frank Reich helps a lot, and that entire Colts offensive coaching staff helps a lot in sort of figuring out ways to get guys open. They move methodically down the field. There's not a ton of big passes. There will be some, but more often than not, they do a lot of short passes to just try to pick up 1st down after 1st down. So that's kind of what Luck can do. However, while you should still avoid zone coverage against Luck, you pretty much can't play zone coverage against Roethlisberger or he'll pick you apart. Like on this play, it's going to be a cover 3 zone, and I have a receiver running right there, which will be into a gap in coverage. And one thing you'll notice about Ben Roethlisberger, you know, he's a vet. He's been in this game for a very long time. The second his receiver is looking to be open, look at Roethlisberger. He's ready to make a throw. There's no messing around. He makes a perfect throw, and that results in a big catch for a 1st down. So yeah, that's kind of what Roethlisberger can do. You know, yes, Luck can make those very accurate throws as well, but Roethlisberger can do it, and he can do it against situations like this where he has to time it perfectly. You know, timing is very important in the NFL. If you watch my Matt Stafford video, I talked a lot about timing, and Ben Roethlisberger also has great timing. I mean, the accuracy behind that throw was perfect, but also the timing behind that throw was perfect as well. And so I'm sure Steelers fans who are watching this video are going to say, nope, that's why Ben Roethlisberger is better than Andrew Luck, because not only is Ben Roethlisberger as accurate as Andrew Luck, but he's also a smarter player than Andrew Luck. Like, watch this one, for example. It's going to be a cover 2 zone. However, since Pittsburgh has an empty backfield, what New Orleans is going to do is actually only rush 3 and have an extra man drop back into coverage. And that's significant because Pittsburgh does have a route running right there, so now this is going to be a much smaller gap that would have already been a pretty small gap. If you see, this is the gap now. It's definitely a small gap. But again, we know Roethlisberger has accuracy. He's able to make this throw and it's able to be a completion. But what I loved about this play is if you look at Roethlisberger, he didn't look towards Juju Smith-Schuster there until the very last second. I mean, if you look at this angle, he's turned his head so that it looks like he's looking forward. So this way, the Saints who are kind of going over in that direction have no idea that it is going to be a throw in that direction. So by the time he finally does make a throw, he's able to widen up that gap enough that he is able to make a throw through it. So that's what Roethlisberger brings to the table. You know, sure, Andrew Luck is accurate, but look at what Roethlisberger can do. He can make some accurate passes, and he can make some accurate passes in big moments. So sure, you know, Andrew Luck, he's accurate, but not only is Roethlisberger accurate, but he's also smart enough to make those gaps even bigger. While I will give it to Roethlisberger that he does use his eyes in a better way than Andrew Luck does to widen up some gaps and get guys more open, I'm not going to go as far to say that he's a smarter player than Andrew Luck, even though he has been in the league for significantly longer than Luck has. Like on this play, for example, it's going to be a cover 2 zone, and what they're going to do is have T.Y. Hilton basically run in between those 2 zones that are going to be on the left side of the screen. So one thing you'll notice right when this play develops is actually going to be the fact that while T.Y. Hilton is running deep, there's also going to be another Texans player who's actually a linebacker who's also going to go deep with Hilton because he realizes what's going on. And also you'll notice Luck is no longer inside the pocket. He had good awareness, realized that the edge rusher on the top half of the screen broke inside the tackle, so he was able to get around the pocket. And now, you know, he's been thinking to make this throw the whole time. There's other Colts that are open. Honestly, there are. However, Luck doesn't want to just get some yards right here. Luck is going to try to get as many yards as possible. Well, yes, I mentioned earlier that the Colts' philosophy very much is just get a first down, don't try to worry about these big plays. That doesn't mean you shouldn't take a big play if it's there, and there is a big play that could be there. But of course, there also are 2 other Texans in this area, so not only is Luck going to have to make this decision, but he's going to have to make a perfect throw. But again, Luck's going to time this perfectly, he's going to make a perfect throw, and it results in a huge completion. So that's a great play by Luck, because he was smart enough to realize which route to run to, also aware enough to realize, okay, I should go to the outside of my tackle because of the situation that happened in the offensive line. But then he timed that ball perfectly, and he just made a great throw, so just a tremendous play from Luck. But of course, if we're talking about great deep balls, you gotta give that edge to Ben Roethlisberger, who can definitely throw a better deep ball than Luck can. I mean, he's one of the best to ever do it. Like on this one, it's gonna actually be a cover 3 zone, so that defensive back is gonna be dropping back into coverage right there. And there's Antonio Brown running a go route. So, you know, pretty simple. Just try to hit him in stride. That's the way this play works. But one thing you'll notice is that Brown isn't really too open at this point. There could be some separation later in the route, so Roethlisberger could try to throw it here. However, the reason he's going to decide to definitely throw it this way is because of look at that Charger who's deep right there. When you only have one safety deep, this now means that you have to stay pretty much a lot farther than everyone else in the field. But because he is further in and further to the bottom half of the screen, this now means that Roethlisberger could take a shot deep to the top half of the screen since he won't be able to get into the play. I wouldn't really call it a bad play by that safety because, you know, he's trying to take away 4 routes instead of trying to take away all 5. But this now means that your corner is going to have to win a 1-on-1 matchup against Brown, which isn't easy to do. And while he is going to do a great job, Roethlisberger makes a perfect throw. There wasn't even that much separation, but it was just a perfect throw from Roethlisberger, and that's what resulted in a huge gain. And when talking about deep passes, this one might have actually been my favorite one from Roethlisberger last season. This was in that primetime game against the Chargers, and there's only 24 seconds left in the half, so I think a lot of people would tell you, hey, play this one safe, you know, try to hit a sideline somewhere, don't try anything too dangerous, you know, don't throw the ball too deep, don't throw any risk, because we want to make sure that we do end up getting out of this half with at least some more points. And a big part of that is because Los Angeles is going to be protecting the end zone, they're playing cover 2 man here, a good coverage to run in this situation, and you know, the Steelers, they have Antonio Brown running that route right there. It's kind of a, hey, who knows, could get open, don't look to throw it there, don't try to force anything there, but, you know, maybe take a glance there. And as you see right now, this is actually an interesting situation, because as of right now, if Roethlisberger threw the ball right this second, this would be a terrible situation and it'd probably get picked off. However, it's looking like in a couple of seconds, it could end up actually being a great situation for Roethlisberger and for Brown, because Brown has inside leverage on the person he's playing man against, and also the safety who he's going up against is actually pretty far in. So Roethlisberger, if he can just wait an extra second, Brown could definitely get open. But getting an extra second might be a little bit tough because of that situation right there. There's a Charger going up against him, so Roethlisberger is going to have to sidestep and try to get around him. But that's going to be exactly what he does. He moves over, makes a great throw, and is able to be a completion for a touchdown. Also, if you notice Roethlisberger, he didn't throw on the run at all. He just kind of stepped backwards and then was able to make that throw. That was an easy throw for him to make and a great throw for him to make, and it resulted in a touchdown. He's such a great deep ball thrower, and he is very mobile. You know, despite his big size, this is a guy who can move around. Although, in terms of moving around, I do think Andrew Luck does it better than Ben Roethlisberger. I mean, take a look at this play, for example. It's going to be man coverage, although Ebron actually has double coverage going on right here, and the one route to take a look at will be T.Y. Hilton's route, just a simple route right over the middle, nothing too fancy. However, it can actually be a great way to beat man coverage. Like, as you see right when this ball is snapped, he's a little bit open. But of course, if Luck just made this throw right now, it would be a catch, but it'd probably gain about 2 or 3 yards. As I keep mentioning, they're not always trying to get the ball super downfield, they just want to get the first down. However, Luck has other ideas, and once again, he is going to try to maximize as many yards as he possibly can get on this play. But one interesting thing about this is actually a 3rd down and 2. So if Luck makes this throw, it could result in a quick tackle, but also worth mentioning, Luck can't wait too long because there is going to be a Texan right over there. So Luck could just try to fire a ball right here. However, one thing worth noting is look at what the job the offensive line is doing. Luck has all day to make this throw, and so he's going to not panic here at all. Well, the chances are if you hit T.Y. right here, it would probably be a first down. I would say 90% chance this is going to be a first down. And by 90%, I mean it would probably be a 90% chance if Luck makes the throw and T.Y. Hilton made the catch, which would be 2 things that would be pretty fair to assume. But since Luck realizes, hey, I have all day, he's not going to panic. He's just going to hang out and he's going to wait for this play to develop more. He even runs up to the top half of the screen where T.Y. Hilton is able to get more open, makes a great throw on the run, and able to pick up more yards. Because, hey, why pick up 2 and maybe not get the first down when you can pick up 10 and definitely get the first down? It's a risk for sure, but you know what? Luck plays risky sometimes, and Ben Roethlisberger definitely plays risky. That's kind of why these 2 guys are so hard to differentiate, because they are so similar in a lot of ways in terms of their weaknesses as well. Really, their only real weaknesses are the fact that they will throw interceptions. These are definitely guys both prone to get some interceptions from time to time. It's really hard to rate these guys, and it's really hard to say who is better, and I've honestly gone back and forth. I'm not gonna lie, while recording this video, I'm still not exactly sure what I'm gonna do. I'm kind of making my decision in real time here. I mean, looking at their postseason stats, honestly, neither of their postseason stats are really anything to write home about. Roethlisberger averaged 250 yards per game, and he has a touchdown-to-interception ratio of 30 touchdowns to 24 interceptions. Meanwhile, Luck averages 281 yards per game. However, his touchdown-to-interception ratio is 12 to 13. He has more interceptions than touchdowns. And again, I'm not saying these guys are bad in the playoffs. That would be an insane thing to say. Roethlisberger has had one of the biggest throws in NFL history, one of the most clutch throws in NFL history, and he made that throw on the run. Meanwhile, Andrew Luck's performance against Kansas City was one of the best games I've ever seen. But also worth mentioning, those are both in the past, and this is a right now list. Who would I rather have for the 2019 season? And you know what? I'm going to have to kind of just pick something. I have to find some way to differentiate these guys, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go with their ability. Andrew Luck has missed an entire season before, and he's also missed 9 games before in a season. And it should be mentioned that Ben Roethlisberger is far from a completely durable player himself. In fact, he's actually missed at least 1 game in 7 out of the past 10 seasons. However, he's never missed more than 4 games in his career, so that's kind of where I'm going to try to differentiate Roethlisberger from Luck. It's so hard to differentiate these guys. They're both so good. They have the same weaknesses, they have the same strengths. How do you differentiate these guys? But Luck is just coming off a season where he did miss an entire season, and so that kind of just gives me some worry, because if he does get hurt again, potentially he could be out for his career. I know that sounds dramatic, but it is a real possibility, although I wouldn't say it's a great possibility. Meanwhile, Roethlisberger is the kind of guy who he could lose a limb and then still be back out there 2 weeks later, so that's why I'm going to have Roethlisberger there. And I also should mention that some of those games were just simply because they had already locked up the playoffs, so that's why they had Roethlisberger sit. So yeah, I'm going to say that Ben Roethlisberger is ahead of Andrew Luck. That makes Ben Roethlisberger number 9 and Andrew Luck number 10 on this list. But honestly, I wouldn't hate on you if you said you'd rather have Andrew Luck than Roethlisberger now. It really is so close. But yeah, that's my opinion, so that's what I think. I'd love to know what you guys think, so let me know in the comments below who is better, Andrew Luck or Ben Roethlisberger, because they're both very good. I kind of mixed things up with this video and tried something different. Hope you guys liked it, and as always, thanks for watching.